We begin with breaking news overnight. The Senate fails to take action to replace or extend the controversial Patriot Act. The anti-terrorism program expires on June 1st. Just after midnight, the Senate rejected a House-passed bill on a vote of 57 to 42. That's 3 votes shy of a filibuster-proof majority. The Senate will take up the issue again on May 31st. It will also assess the many surveillance techniques used by the federal government to fight terrorism in an effort to strike the right balance between national security and civil liberties.
For more on all of this, we turn now to Dustin Volz, a staff correspondent of the National Journal. He's been following the drama all week on Capitol Hill. He joins us now from our Washington bureau. Dustin, I imagine that you did not get a lot of sleep last night since this Senate vote did not come in until after midnight this morning. Tell us particularly, what is Section 215 of the Patriot Act? What's at stake?
So Section 215 is part of the Patriot Act that allows sort of surveillance, and it was at first known as sort of the library records provision after 9/11, and it was very controversial with privacy advocates, but it's grown enormously more controversial since the Edward Snowden revelations 2 years ago, which sort of revealed that the National Security Agency is using this to justify its bulk collection of U.S. call records, millions of records every day. And so for more than a year now, the Senate and the House of Representatives have been working to reform them and to sort of usher in new transparency and oversight reforms, but they still haven't figured it out. And as you mentioned, the deadline is just about a week away now.
There were some very interesting alliances in this vote, Dustin. I mean, what are we seeing happen here in Washington?
Right. So this bill that the Senate failed to advance, it already passed the House overwhelmingly with a lot of support from Republicans and Democrats. In the Senate, it had just about all the Democrats supporting it, as well as very libertarian-leaning Republicans, including Senator Ted Cruz and Senator Mike Lee. Ted Cruz, of course, is running for president. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, he is a defense hawk, and him and some other Republicans stood in the way of seeing this reform bill go ahead. And they have so far succeeded in gumming up the process. And they also, last night, thought that they could maybe get a clean extension of the Patriot Act to kind of not change it at all, but keep it going for a couple of months. And that also failed. So we're really at a standoff here, and it's not clear if the program might even expire entirely.
What about the White House? Where do they stand in all of this? Because I think this is such a topical issue right now. A lot of people wondering, is it privacy or is it national security? Which is more important?
Right. The White House ramped up its efforts this week very aggressively to sort of convince senators to pass this reform bill, the USA Freedom Act. They basically said it was the only avenue forward because it already passed the House. They agreed with the reforms under it. And they said that basically there's no plan B, that if you don't pass this, we don't know what's going to happen. These authorities might lapse because of the deadline that's coming, and we don't know what's going to happen. And it would be not just bad for the NSA program that would expire, but also a lot of other national security tools would lapse as well, that the FBI uses and other intelligence services use. So the White House is very concerned about national security and sort of going dark after June 1st.
Dustin, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he will bring the Senate back in session on May 31st to consider this again. Is there a compromise possible here?
It's hard to say. Yeah, the Senate is coming back on Sunday, May 31st, a week from this Sunday, and that is very rare for the Senate to come back on a Sunday after their Memorial Day recess. And this happened because of something really, really unusual and really remarkable last night, which was Senator Rand Paul, who's also running for president and also from Kentucky, as McConnell is, basically used the power of one senator to block even the shorter-term offerings from McConnell. McConnell wanted a week-long extension, and Paul got in the way. Then he wanted a 5-day extension. Another senator said no, Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon. And it's very unclear if either side is going to budge on this issue.
Well, Dustin, we hope you get a well-deserved nap today. Dustin Volz at our Washington bureau. Thank you so much.